Hi there, welcome to my channel. This is Elizabeth with Wandering Soul Enterprises. So in this session, we're going to be talking about the orphan child archetype from the Carolyn Mace archetype cards. If you're new to this series, please go out and check my introduction video for the Archetypes and Elements series. I'll try to remember to post the link in the description box below. That'll explain what the spread is all about. But if you do like this video, if you give it a thumbs up or comment below, let me know how it resonates. I'd really appreciate it. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos, more content, and I'll be going through all of the archetypes eventually. It's gonna take me a while, but I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do all of them. And if you're a return customer, thanks for stopping by again. I really appreciate you coming back. So the child orphan archetype, the light attributes are independence based on learning to go it alone and conquering the fear of surviving. And the shadow attributes are feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation and seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So the orphan child can come about in someone who has experienced actually becoming an orphan or possibly abandonment. It can also come about in people who just never quite feel like they fit with their family. So go ahead and watch and see if this resonates with you. All of us have at least one of the child archetypes present within us, but there's usually one that dominates the others. So watch them all and try to figure out which one resonates the most strongly with you. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the 4 elements which are represented down here, and then we'll look at the Goddess Inspiration Oracle, the Gods and Titans Oracle, and the Major Arcana, which represent the element of ether or spirit. Okay, so from the element of air, we have card number 1, Earth Angel. Did I say air? I meant the element of earth. The element of earth. Okay. Earth Angel is from the hierarchy of intelligences with a specific job to do on Earth. Her brilliant aura is flowing down to the earth. The flowers around her head are the symbol she is working with the nature spirits and herbal plants for healing. Suggestion: speak and work with the plant kingdom. In this way, your contact with the angel world will become stronger. Affirmation: I will give to the earth as it gives to me. So also from the element of earth, we have the 8 of Diamonds from the Sailor Jerry deck, the Queen of Pentacles, the 10 of Stones, Home, and the King of Coins. Wow, yeah, so I'm seeing, the King and Queen of Pentacles probably more than any of the other pairs represent that mother-father archetypal energy. So definitely getting mother-father vibes. And then the 10 of Stones, of course, is about home, family. And the 8 of Pentacles is about working, hard work, self-sufficiency, or working towards building your home and family. So yeah, I of course these are gonna be major themes for the orphan child, and one of the things that orphan children do, it says even here in the shadow attributes, seeking inappropriate surrogate families, But I think that it's also possible for someone who feels like they don't fit in with their natural family to seek out a similar family, like a group that satisfies that need for a family in another way. And I think that's actually okay as long as you find positive influences to share your life with. If it becomes a negative influence, that's not good. You know, you want to make sure that you have balanced, healthy relationships with anyone who you invite into your life. Okay, so let's look at the element of air. So we have card number 13, and these are from the Colin Hall Working with the Four Elements Oracle. Card number 13 of air, music is my first love. The two flowers are embracing themselves in a passionate display of love for each other, moving to the music notes in the wind. The fairies with their wonderful, carefree way of life, their worries flowing on the wind currents, to be carried to the angel world, to be dissolved in the cosmos. Suggestion: let go of your anxieties playing music when you meditate. This can help you harmonize with the spirit world. Affirmation: music will be my first love. Yeah, so some of you may resonate with music, might be really important to you. There may be messages and songs that you listen to that really resonate with you. We have the Three of Spades. And then from the Rider-Waite, we have the King of Swords. From the Wildwood Tarot, we have the Nine of Arrows, dedication. And from the Antique Anatomy card, we have card number 10 of air, 10 of blades, rather. Okay, so yeah, what I'm getting from all these cards together here is that music is a good way for you to heal from your wounds. I think that the orphan child feels a lot of wounds, and listening to music that resonates with you connects you with the artist who created that music. And so I think that it's a great way to heal. And then if you are a songwriter or a musician yourself, then you can also heal by turning your pain and your wounds into a beautiful form of musical expression. The reason I'm saying that is that a lot of these cards deal with wounding, particularly the Three of Swords and the 10 of Blades. Those both represent betrayal, which I feel like the orphan child probably does experience. Those are some emotions that the orphan child probably has to deal with. And heartbreak, sorrow, loss. The Nine of Arrows can also be about loss. In most decks, the Nine of Arrows deals with negative thoughts, insomnia, depression, but in this deck it's called dedication. So you can see here it's interesting too that music came up, because you can see how she's holding the bow and she's kind of playing the bow like a violin using that arrow, and then the other arrows are being deflected from her, so she's using that bow to deflect the pain of the other arrows. And then the King of Swords is sort of this stony cold guy who doesn't have a lot of emotions. He makes all of his decisions based on logic. he's self-sufficient. He goes it alone. He's a survivor, but there may be a need to connect emotionally a little bit more. And also to use discernment, like when if your real family's not there for you, or your natural family's not there for you, or the family you grew up with isn't there for you, then maybe there's a need to reach out and form new bonds with new people. But like I was saying earlier when we were talking about the earth stack, there's a need to use discernment in who you're going to allow into your life and who you're not. And that's okay to do that. Okay, so I feel like I need to read from the book about this 9 of arrows, especially since we had music as my first love come out, and I was getting that message about using music to heal. And this card is actually depicting a woman using music to heal herself. Let's see. Just want to see if there's any additional messages in the book that might resonate with someone out there. Okay. The spiritual warrior dedicates their arrows of inspiration by playing the bow as an instrument of summoning. The inner oath helps keep one on a balanced footing by dedicating skills to a greater good. To heed the calling to dedicate one's life to any skill, spiritual path, belief system, or philosophy requires sincerity, self-discipline, and hard work. It is a sacred summoning that requires time and effort. For those who hear the calling and become spiritual warriors and protectors of the land, responsibility and sacrifice are also required. To deny that the human species has a negative effect on the planet's climate and atmosphere seems totally redundant. The growing awareness of our individual impact on the ecosystem may take on greater significance in the future. We cannot predict what effect our avarice and rapacious exploitation of the land will eventually produce, but the dedicated defender of the soil must protect the living legacy we leave for our children. To teach by example the value of respecting others' beliefs and philosophies and honoring the land is immensely important. Sometimes a simple daily ritual reminds us of the oath we have taken to conserve and protect. Dedicate yourself to the task and be part of making the difference. So summoning your skills for the greater good. Okay. So from the element of fire, we got the fire goddess. Right. The fire goddess has great power, bringing inspiration and creativity, healing, poetry, and smithcraft when linking into her consciousness. She becomes a great teacher of the development of our own spiritual flame and an understanding of the fire elements and the role they play in alchemy and inspired wisdom. Suggestion: meditate on the card, look into the eyes of the goddess, and let her take you into her world of the fire spirits. Look for information on Bridget, the fire goddess, the Celtic fire goddess. Affirmation, my internal flame will always be glowing. So I'm getting a strong vibe so far. One of the light attributes of the orphan is that their independence based on learning to go it alone and conquering their fear of surviving. So in order to learn to go it alone, the message that's coming through here is skill. The Eight of Pentacles is about working hard and developing your skills. The Nine of Arrows is about dedication and using your skills for the greater good. The King of Swords is also very skilled swordsman, right? And also skilled statesman. He's like the general type of character. And then the fire goddess, Bridget, is a blacksmith. So practical skills and an artisan. Like this, usually in the Rider-Waite Tarot, this represents someone who's sort of an artisan as well. So I think that's interesting. Maybe using your skills, maybe you're a musician, but definitely getting the vibe that your skills can help you to heal, but also help you to survive and to help those around you as well. Okay, so moving on with our stack of cards in the fire deck. From the Sailor Jerry playing cards, we have the Nine of Clubs. From the Rider-Waite, we have the Six of Wands. From the Wildwood Tarot, we have the Page of Bows. And from the Antique Anatomy Tarot, we have the Eight of Rods. So a lot of positive energy in this stack. The Nine of Wands is that can be about anxiety and wariness, but it's also, in its light aspect, about drawing healthy boundaries and respect. So we've been talking about that too, like just making sure you have healthy boundaries in your surrogate family relationships. Page of Bows, Stoat, is about exploration and adventure, passion, following the path you're meant to lead. The Six of Wands is about success. And the Eight of Wands is about movement and communication, setting your eyes on a target and shooting your arrows toward the target. So definitely get like the strong success vibe, like hard work and success coming from the fire pile. You've conquered your fear of surviving. So in the water stack, we have White Tara. Card number 2. Let me read that one. Born out of a lotus flower, the White Tara is represented as a mature woman helping to overcome inharmoniousness. She is connected with longevity, good health, wisdom, and fortune that she has in the eyes, hands, feet, and forehead, the third eye, indicating she sees all suffering. Suggestion: you may connect to her in prayer or meditation. A good time for this is on a full moon. White is her color of purity. She can help destroy external threats. Affirmation: the key to the White Tara is in me. Yeah, so White Tara is a great goddess to call on when you're suffering. She's a helper. All right, so in the other cards that came up in the water stack, 10 of Hearts, happiness. Oh, 10 of Cups, happiness. Oh my goodness, look, 3 of Vessels, joy. And 3 of Elixirs, joy, bliss, and love. How happy. This is like this whole story, like we started in Earth, and our orphan child is just longing for a family, mom, dad at home, and they're working hard to build this for themselves. And then when we got to air, we see them developing discernment, dealing with these feelings of betrayal, learning to heal themselves, using music, using their skills. And it pays off in the wands. Like they learn to draw healthy boundaries. They explore things that they're passionate about. They set goals. They hit their marks. They're successful. They learn how to conquer their fear of survival. And then in the end, they have such a happy ending. It's so cool. I love that. It's White Tara coming. She's been seeing your suffering. She's going to come through for you and bring you the 10 of Cups and the 3 of Cups. Joy and happiness, bliss and love. Oh, and that family that you've been longing for. What a beautiful story, you know? And you know what, that's interesting, because in the book, the Carolyn May's book, I've had this library book for almost a year, you guys. They shut down the library, so I just never took it back. I guess I'm gonna have to buy it eventually, probably. Let's see. Orphans who succeed at finding a path of survival on their own are celebrated in fairy tales and folk stories as having won a battle with a dark force, which symbolically represents the fear of surviving alone in this world. That's awesome. Like, the story totally came through in this reading, the fairy tale. Okay, let's see. So, actually, I'm gonna look at the Goddess Inspiration and then the Gods and Titans, and then we'll take a look at the Major Arcana. Okay, we have Juno, Optima Maximus. You are watched over at all times. Nikita, stop! This kitty cat, I love her to pieces, but oh my goodness. Okay. She's jumping into my quote bags. Okay, let's see. I was gonna look up Juno's thing in the book. Let's see. Nikita. Okay, so Juno is associated with protection, motherhood, and marriage. Juno was believed to watch over all women from their first to last breath. As the patroness of marriage, Juno restored peace between couples, and one of her temples was used as a sanctuary for women who needed shelter from cruel husbands. The peacock is associated with Juno because the many eyes in its feathers are like the goddess's ever-open eyes as she protects women. So we had White Tara, a goddess of protection, who helps you in your time of suffering. Juno, who protects you and watches over you. It's like the gods and goddesses coming through here see the suffering of the orphan child, and they're watching out for you. Okay, we got Garuda, travel. We also had the Eight of Wands, which to me represents travel. Okay, what does Garuda say? Travel opens your experience and expands the self. Whatever journey you wish to take, you are protected. Protection, again, is coming through really strongly. Okay, I'm gonna skip over his story for now, but it's really interesting. So if you want to learn more, you can Google it. But it says that the idea of a bird going through fire and not only surviving, but flourishing like the phoenix is part of Garuda's energy. Garuda is still a potent symbol of flight today. It is even in the name of Indonesia's national airline. So Garuda is also a word for eagle. Like eagle pose is Garudasana or something like that. Call upon Garuda when you are about to undertake a difficult journey or for protection while traveling. If you need to make a connecting flight, are traveling on your own for the first time, or are even learning how to drive, Garuda will listen to your petition and help you. His presence in your life may indicate travel is near, or that the phoenix aspect that you will flourish after a period of trial and possibly hardship is active. Yeah, so that story about the phoenix rising kind of resonates with this orphan child's story. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So the emperor showed up twice in the Antique Anatomy Tarot, we have the Emperor, and then the Green Man is the Emperor card from the Wildwood Tarot. And then we had the Lovers. Yeah, so I think that some of the folks who drew this pile may have a need to connect with the divine masculine, and especially since Juno also showed up, and then Garuda had some issues with his mother being kidnapped and things like that. Like maybe for some people, this could indicate that there's been maybe a history of like domestic violence or something like that, and some of the more toxic aspects of the masculine perhaps. So I'm sensing that there's a need to deal with those issues, like the father issues, okay? And then with the Lovers, it's about making a choice and choosing love over fear. And choosing to unite with another and create a new family of your own. Okay, well, I thank you so much for joining in, and if this resonated for you, if you'd leave me a comment below, give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.